Good morning, GM everybody. Happy Friday, TGIF. We used to say back in the day. Anyway, we're here, man. Market just opened. I like to get here before the market when I can, but it doesn't always happen. I do a little update over on TikTok before and getting everything ready. Let me check on X, make sure that everyone can hear me over there, and we'll get this party started on a Friday. Always happen. Okay, looks like people can hear me. I always like to throw a little GM in the chat to get things started. That stands for good morning. Something we always do over there on X, previously Twitter. But yeah, we have so welcome everyone. Whether you're listening live on YouTube or X, I guess even you could be listening live on Rumble. I don't even think I have one follower over there, but I stream over there anyway. Few people watch it on the recording. I don't know if anyone watched it live or not, but it is what it is. It's not really any extra work, so I figure start putting some content over there. If even one person watches it, it's worth it. Okay, the NASDAQ up 0.51%. We have, of course, all eyes on these Pakistani peace talks hosted and moderated by Pakistan in Islamabad. J.D. Vance and the other top negotiator, I forget his name, is over there. Quantum 5652 saying more World Liberty Fi crime. This time especially egregious. Let's take a quick look at World Liberty Fi. 14.5. I don't know I saw him coming out. Also, Tau down 19.4. I haven't seen why Tau's down. Both of these, and Rave, I don't even know what Rave is, but up 324. But World Liberty Fi down 13.5. Wow, all the way down to 8 cents. We'll have to look. I don't know if I'll have a chance to look at it in here. Go ahead and type in if you want to. They're good long time friend from X coming to us over on YouTube. I appreciate that too, because I have 37,000 followers on X, but only have less than 100 on YouTube. So appreciate that. Tau as well. But anyway, let's get back and check the other. We'll come back here. The NASDAQ is down a third, 0.31, and the S&P up 0.16. So decent opening, all things considered, to be honest with you. There was some economic data we're going to talk about, but the main thing is, of course, this Pakistan thing. Quantum 5652 saying they printed billions of dollars a token and then withdrew millions of USDC against it. Wow. I did see there was some claims out there. I did see them post the thing that they're solving, but looks like maybe the protocol was also owned by a World Liberty Fi insider. Interesting. I got into it early, in the mid 26 cents on launch, right? And then Justin Sun pulled some funny stuff. The head of Tron, he basically put a huge incentive to deposit it on Tron exchange, and then I think dumped it all the way down to 15 cents. So I saw that trickery. I got out. I haven't bought in since really, but yeah, it's not good when you see these people trying to pull tricks around it. It's not good for a platform. I think what World Liberty Fi has is obviously Trump backing, and also the fact that they've got a stable coin, right? Let me look what their stable coin is. So interesting. Their stable coin was top 20. I don't know if it still is or not. There it is, number 24 now, dropped a little, USD1. So we see, okay. Tau, a major subnet, said F this and left, said the founder is a scammer, said Tau isn't actually decentralized in reality. Interesting. Well, thank you, Quantum 5652. Like I say, we've known each other for years, hang out daily over on X. So I appreciate your research. I'd meant to get to it this morning, but that's interesting. So this is the kind of opportunity with something like Tau. This is when you step back, do your own research, and find it's either time to get out or it's time to buy more. Could just be a disgruntled person, didn't get along. You never know. Kind of like a disgruntled employee, right? Leaves and they like to FUD the company. So anyway, this is when I'll definitely look into this, because I do own a fair amount of Tau, and I have been DCAing. What I do when I buy a coin is I buy it. I'll usually initially buy it 5 to 6 pieces, and I'll buy it. I'll do more research. I'll buy it, and then maybe a month or two later, I'll look again, and I'll look at it and say, "Hey, do I feel?" That's what I've been doing with Tau for a couple of years now. I have taken profits a couple of times actually, on some of the runs, because I thought the overall mark would bring it down. But anyway, that's what I do. So this is a situation. World Liberty Fi, like I say, I'll look into both of these, and this is either true and you probably want to stay away from them, or it's FUD, what we call fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the crypto world. Basically fake news. And then you decide, or it's not real and it's an opportunity. Quantum 5652 said, "Not gonna lie, I researched Tau a few years back. I did not like the founder. He gave me scammer vibes." You know what? I haven't. I've researched it a lot. Like I said, I've been buying it for a couple years. Don't know that much about the founder. Haven't watched much of the founder himself. But I'll tell you, in the past, I had this same situation, right? I passed on certain projects because I didn't like the founder. So that's a legit concern. So at this point, I always tell everyone to do their own research. I'll be looking into both of these claims. Probably won't, since we're in the heart of the show right now and other show coming up. But I appreciate Quantum 5652 on YouTube for bringing us Satoshi Nakamoto, I believe, on X's handle. But I appreciate that, because that's all happened just since we started the show prep. So appreciate that. Keep an eye on it, and you either have an opportunity or you have a reason to exit stage left. And like I say, there can be a variety of reasons why you don't invest. Can be the team sometimes. Just inexperience, don't like how they handle stuff. You're going to see, as you own projects, they're going to have to deal with FUD or these claims. A lot of times how they deal with it, how they react, if it's mature and if it's they kind of give you bad vibes, kind of deflection vibes, or kind of don't handle it responsibly, sometimes that's a way to a reason to get out. And I've done it a few times. There's been a few projects that I was in day one, and or so early, and then got on calls with the founding team and just had a bad vibe and got out early. And some of those went on to pump. Most of them didn't stay around long term, but some of them went on to pump to billions, and I missed out. But that's okay. I don't regret that. So anyway, let's take a look at everything else here. Haven't even looked at that, but thank you, Quantum 5652, for that breaking news. Bitcoin, 71,974, down 1.5% for the day. But let's look at the hour just since the market opened. You see it's taken a little bit of a drop, which happens too, right? Doesn't really mean anything. Let's see if I'd feel good if we could get back over that 72, but still up 1.5% for the day. I'll take that. Ethereum, 2212. Let's look at the daily chart first. Up 2% for the day. XRP, $1.34.1, up 0.8 for the day. And Solana, 83.76, up 2.2% for the day. But I think all these, if you look at them on the hourly chart, we'll see we had this little dip when the market opened. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Now, Fridays can be lower tension, and weekends especially. Now, the catalyst we have is these talks going on, right? The vice president literally just landed. So we're going to have some news here, and probably a lot of fake news. I would say expect it to be a little more volatile probably than last week. Last week it was pretty flat, but we did have a little volatility. But I expect a lot of fake headlines, a lot of propaganda, a lot of this social media back and forth happening. Now, a really good positive report from all sides could make us launch through the weekend. Quantum 50. To be absolutely honest, I'm finding the price action on WTI oil to be a lot easier to trade than crypto. Yeah, I've been trading a little crypto on. I've been trading it on BitUnex, right? Because I don't have a regular U.S. exchange or commodities. I've been trading it on BitUnex. The bio, it's a perps exchange. I don't trade leverage, but I do short. I do use grid bots a lot. I literally trade, $250,000 or so a day in grid bots, which I'm going to make some content, show people how to do that. But yeah, it's on. I haven't put it on my. It's on my bio in my my referral link if you want to sign up if you're not signed up already. It's a no KYC exchange. I think it's pretty good. But I've been trading oil over there. No, I don't think you can grid bot oil. I'll check, man. Quantum, I don't know. That would be super interesting. Yeah, let's check it out. But yeah, if you haven't signed up, click on my referral link. There are no KYC. Like I said, I always hesitated to push into the perps exchange, even though they're pretty generous with their affiliates and stuff. But just because I'm not I feel like most people do not know how to trade leverage and shouldn't trade leverage. But the grid bots I trade with no leverage. You can trade them with leverage. Well, I trade them 1x leverage, which is no leverage, but they are a futures thing. But yeah, I'm going to look into that. That'd be a great idea. I'd love to trade some oil. I'd love to see that. Hey, Shabbat. GM, good to see you here over on X. Longtime friend, longtime IRL friend, and X Twitter friend as well. So, yeah, I like. I'll look into that. I hadn't even thought of that. I mostly trade Solana, but I do trade some Bitcoin and some Ethereum. And lately, I've been looking at XRP because it can be a little more. It works for everything. You got to have big volume and stuff. But man, nothing has more oil. Oil's had more volume on some of the big perps exchanges. The other day, it out traded. Last weekend, it out traded Bitcoin USDT on what's the biggest one? God, I know it's on some of the F1 cars and stuff. I don't know because I don't use it because I can't sign up as an American. Quantum's using 6x on oil. Yeah, I actually opened a leveraged short the other day and then whisked out because I didn't know if the ceasefire was going to hold. Anyway, Witkoff. Yeah, thank you, Shabbat. Yeah, Witkoff's the other negotiator. Thanks for coming in, man. Shabbat, by the way, Shabbat.eth is my he gives me all the up to the minute updates on the GM Bitcoin morning show. Quantum 56, less chance of liquidation hunts on oil. Yeah, for sure. And I find it too with you're absolutely right because it's too big. But that's why I don't trade. I don't do grid bots too much. I have in the past, but I don't do it much on like say Fartcoin or even I do it on Pepe. But you can't do it on anything where someone can make a scam wick and take all your money. You have to be really careful. Well, not if you're doing like I'm doing and not trading. But yeah, I like to stick with the majors for sure. Bybit, thank you. Damn it, I don't know why I can't remember Bybit. Probably because I don't use the exchange, but yeah, Bybit's the biggest perps exchange out there, centralized perps exchange, and yeah, absolutely, they're doing a lot in oil over there. It's become one of their biggest, or maybe it's and also maybe I'm thinking of Hyperliquid too. Hyperliquid is the biggest. Yeah, I am actually thinking of Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid's the biggest decentralized one. Hype. But yeah, you know, Quantum, you're making a true point. Crypto is thinly traded in reality. Actual liquidity is so thin, you can get effed easy. No, it's a red flag. That's true, right? We're here talking about it, and it's our focus. But on the greater scale, it's teeny. It's absolutely teeny, and you can get messed up. But yeah, I'm going to try the oil grid bot, man. That would be fun. I'll make a video about it. Like I say, it's cool. And like I said, I've used Blowfit in the past. I now use BitUnex just because it's they, like I say, I've been doing it with some other communities that have been using their affiliate program and stuff, get a little money back. So anyway, but it's good. It's actually ranked a little above Blowfin. It's one of the highest ranked ones. There's 3 or 4 good ones that you don't have to KYC for, but yeah. So Quantum 5652 is only using Hyperliquid lately. So yeah, good. Hype is great. One of the tokens I own, continue to DCA into. I've been pretty happy about, but he said it's awesome. Yeah, it's its own blockchain too. Hype is a coin you ought to be looking into. And yeah, probably from a purpose exchange. Yeah, that's probably a good one. I haven't used it. Like I said, I'm kind of using the BitUnex now because I'm doing it in some other communities. I'm now an official affiliate with them and get a little money back on my trades and other people's trades. So, but anyway, yeah, interesting. So let's jump into the news here quickly. Kind of have to go kind of fast, but appreciate all the participation. Bunch of people over on X. Appreciate y'all. Basically, Trump came out and said Iran is doing a poor job of allowing oil through, right? So Trump's come out, said it's good, but he said he's optimistic about J.D. Vance-led talks. So I don't think any bombs are going to fly or the U.S. is going to walk away, unless something breaks up this weekend, which it could. Now, I want to throw this out because I would say this. I heard a theory floated, and I think it might have some relevance. And that theory, by a pretty credible source that I believe, and said that some of the insiders have floated this, kind of more of an academic type person, but PhD kind of guy. But he threw out the theory that the U.S. is playing Iran because they're so broken up inside. There's so much fragmentation and different sides, different factions, that they're using the talks and the headlines and that we've reached a deal. They're begging us, all this stuff, to cause contention and more fractionalization within the parties there, right? So anyway, that's I think that's at least worth considering. That is this just a ploy to cause further fragmentation among the various factions within Iran? So maybe true, but NATO General Mark Rutte has said European governments, the U.S. President Donald Trump wants concrete commitments within days to help secure the Straits of Hormuz. So he is putting some pressure on him. Again, he's trying to rebuild this coalition, so to speak, and putting pressure on him, threatening to leave NATO altogether or punish the countries that aren't. And it's really in their interest because they're the ones that need the oil, right? Now, on the crypto side, good news is Japan's cabinet approves a bill to regulate crypto as financial product. So it will be treated exactly like bonds and stocks. So that's a big move forward, right? Better taxation, just better, more. It basically is joining their system. So. Yeah, Quantum 5652. Machiavelli has nothing on Trump. LOL. Absolutely, man. This guy, he knows how to negotiate and put pressure on people for sure. But here it is. Look, it's in their interest. European airports warn of systematic jet fuel shortage within 3 weeks if Straits of Hormuz remain closed. I mean, it's a fact, right? They're out of oil. Asia's even worse. Asia's even in a worse position. So they're going to have to do something either way. Trump doesn't want to be the sole, it's not good for our economy here in the U.S., our gas prices. not good for his poll numbers, and he's looking to win those midterm elections, which is uphill battle because statistically speaking, it doesn't happen to a party in power. They lose the midterms. Even Obama did. Eric Trump says gold profits will start to rotate into Bitcoin soon. So funny. Poor Eric, man. He gets dumped on because his predictions usually come true, but the timing is usually horrible. Oh, Quantum 5652. I didn't realize where you were. I never knew you were in Europe. He said, I'm in Europe and things are getting scary. Yeah, we're up. My diesel fuel went from, here where I am, which is in Utah, which is not, not one of the higher areas. But we're at like 539 and we're up $2. We were like 330 before. Korea and South Korea to send an envoy to Iran to secure safe passage for dozens of ships still stranded in the Straits of Hormuz, despite the U.S. ceasefire. Seoul saying restoring shipping through key choke point is urgent. You see, they're in a real bad problem. By the way, GM, welcome everyone over on X and on YouTube, listening live. Appreciate you guys. We're here, opening bell. I try to get here a little early. Sometimes I'm right before the opening bell, sometimes right at, sometimes like today, a few minutes late. But basically, we're all watching these Pakistan things. The crisis is heating up. What's going to happen? Is this ceasefire going to hold or not? I don't know. I think it's a coin toss right now. I don't know what you guys think. I think it's a coin toss. Hong Kong, we're going back and forth, if you haven't noticed, between crypto, and the only reason we're talking about the war and politics ever is simply because it's affecting our crypto bags. But Hong Kong granted the first stablecoin license to HSBC and Standard Chartered, two global banks. Yeah, you know what, Quantum? He's like, spare a thought for the poor seamen stuck on the ships in the Straits. I have a friend who is the captain of one of my best friends in Taiwan. His brother is a captain of one of those ships, right? He does either cargo or oil. And man, those things are not very lush, right? They're on cruise ships. They're bare bones with just a few crew. It's like living in a abandoned, shitty warehouse. So I've been thinking the same thing. Man, they're in a horrible position, stuck out there and can't see their families. And they're real shitty. You're like living in I don't know if you've ever seen, there's been some movies and stuff on those. They're like all metal and rusted and just nasty, man. They're not the cruise ships. They're certainly not the luxury yachts we're all going to be driving when Bitcoin hits $1 million. But anyway, big news for Hong Kong, which is really just an extension of China. Bessent and Armstrong push for Clarity Act. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong both agree it's time for Congress to advance the Clarity Act and move U.S. framework towards passage. I'm going to go in machine gun mode here. $750 million Abra CEO just revealed his Cantor-backed company, Cantor Fitzgerald, a huge person out there, a huge VC firm. They're backed. Abra is backed by Cantor. They're going to buy up to $150 million in Bitcoin soon. So over 2,000 Bitcoin. Oh yeah, Quantum said he saw a report yesterday. One dude had a nervous breakdown. Doesn't surprise me, man. Be like stuck in prison. Really, I think the conditions would be worse than a prison. JD Vance, when he landed coming off the plane, he said he believes negotiations will be positive. We'll see. Right? We will see. CPI, big news, came in at 3.3, expectation 3.3. Now, a lot of people are saying this is bad, but it's within expectations. Yeah, it's 2.4%. 2.4 was the previous, but people know that in wars, the inflation is transitory. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. Not great, but not horrible either. I don't think the Fed's going to weigh it too heavily, but yeah, better if it came in lower. But, you can't have oil going to $116 a barrel and not have some short-term inflation. All bank branches across Iran to open starting April 11th following the ceasefire. That's, of course, if it holds. So that's good news to get back in. It'd be great. The leaders have a chance to really become wealthy in this whole thing and join the global community if they're smart, but they never have been. So global central banks now hold more gold than U.S. treasuries, according to Bank of America Global Research. U.S. has to have buyers of the treasury bills. It's all going to come through these stable coins. Former CEO of Sotheby's, Tad Smith, said the bears are doing hard to keep strategy MSTR down here. I think it's poised to go higher. I do too. I like MSTR. I just opened my wife a Robinhood account. I may buy some. XRP has lower quantum risk than Bitcoin. This is for my followers over on TikTok. I'm not streaming to TikTok yet, but I will be within a couple weeks. They love XRP over there. It's almost funny, but listen, I think it's a blue chip. I like XRP. I just don't love it. But they came out and experts are saying they have less quantum risk. Biggest disconnect ever between Bitcoin and global money supply on record. We know that Bitcoin follows the M2 money supply. I think it'll catch up. The biggest disconnect in history. Last thing, Quantum 5652 said fuel protests going on this weekend in Ireland. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, absolutely. The pressure is on. Thanks for joining me. You're welcome to join me on my live space, the GM Bitcoin Morning Show, starting right now. As soon as we end this, I will see everyone Monday. Have a great weekend. Strap in for volatility. I think there's going to be a lot of news back and forth. Real positive could cause a huge parabolic spike. Otherwise, we'll see everyone on Monday, man. Have a great weekend.